Good morning everyone, this is Sheila. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm excited to show you my finished Sherlock Holmes junk journal. This is the second one that I've done, and I made it for this lovely lady, and I'm so happy that I finally finished it. It took me a little bit because of the holidays and moving and all that stuff. And I finally finished it. Now I made it out of it's almost like 7.5 by 9 inch binder, and it's 1.5 inch spine. There's 3 rings, and I really like the idea of a binder only because you can take the pages out and put new ones in if you want to just keep using the cover. I just like that idea for some reason. But the other one I made actually had a vintage binder, but you know those come by very scarce, so I just altered a regular binder. What I did was I paint the binder with gesso and gesso, white gesso. I let that dry. I think I did 2 or 3 coats, and then I went over it with crackle medium to get this lovely crackle effect. Once that dries, air dries, make sure if you ever use crackle medium you let it air dry. Don't try to speed up the process, it doesn't come out that well. And then after it was dried, I went over it with black paint, and I wanted my cover to look like Sherlock Holmes' front door. And I wanted to do this a little bit different, but the way I started off with it, I didn't like the way it looked, so I just did it this way, and I really like how it came out. It looks like the door is really worn, and I mean, I just love how that crackle medium worked. Around the edges, I used some gold wax, and I think I used some silver wax too, just here and there. But all around the edges I used the gold wax. These the letters and the numbers are chipboard, and I just glued them on before I did everything else, and I painted them black also and added the gold around. And his nameplate is 2 pieces of chipboard that I just glued together, and then the letters are just gold sticker letters that I bought at Hobby Lobby. Here's a brad here, and then this handle I actually got at Hobby Lobby in their woodworking woodcraft area. And let me tell you, if you're gonna buy hinges, knobs, corner pieces, anything like that, before you go to other areas of the craft store, I won't mention the brand names, but they can become very expensive. But a little trick or a little idea, hint, tip, whatever you want to call it, go to that woodworking area, and a lot of times I find handles, knobs, the corner trim, hinges. This time I didn't use hinges on this one, but really cheap. I mean, almost less than half of what you would find if you bought these pieces in another area of the store. So before you buy these things or buy anything, just check out different areas of the store. Like, for instance, that Thule stuff. And you know, let me see if I got an example. Some people might not know Thule. This stuff here, if you can see that, this stuff. Now, if you buy that in the, let me see, I was looking for it, and I was in the wedding section at Hobby Lobby. For a roll of this stuff, it was like $8. But I went and I saw it also by the fabric area, so I went over there to check. It was half the price. So, you know, before you settle on one thing, try to find it somewhere else in the store. You might be lucky enough to find it cheaper, and that's what I did with that. But anyway, I'm getting off track now. So I made this lovely book for a lady, and she asked me to make one for her. And I really love how this came out. There's only 10 base pages in here, but as you can see, it's chunky. It's chock full of so much stuff. And alright, so let's just go on inside. So for the closure, I just have this little chain here, and this is a key, and it says 221B. That's his key to his door. And then I have another little key here, and then over here I have this little knife right there, and this is removable. I used a little burlap. You know me, my burlap, if you follow my channel, that I love to use burlap in my projects. Okay, so on the front cover and the back cover, I made this little pocket tuck spot area just with black cardstock. Added some burlap, some gears, and some trim. Did a little collage there. This paper is not, I don't think this is from a paper pad. Is this? I'm not sure. A lot of these images, I bought a kit online. I can't remember her name right now, but if you're interested, just send me your email. I mean, not your email. Just ask me below, and I'll try to get back to you. I can't remember her. Anyway, I used some of those images to make this tag here. Nice area to write, and coffee dye papers that I had. Here's a little case file that I made. These images here I found online and just printed them out on I believe it was cream color paper or cardstock. And these are some of my coffee dyed pages, and I did a little stamping. I added some little pieces of washi tape here and there. Some of these images I got online. Some of them I actually got, where did I do with my book? Okay, I found this lovely Sherlock Holmes book. Let me put this aside. At a thrift shop. So I went and I photocopied some of the images in here, and this is the whole history of how Sherlock Holmes came about and all this good stuff, and actual history of England, London, England, Scotland Yard, I guess, how they did their forensic things. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff in this book, and I took some images from here for here, and then I found images online. So okay, this is an image I found online. This is an actual quote from Sherlock Holmes. So that's in the pocket here. Here's another case file. This I made into like a booklet. This is I believe this is from a movie. Yeah, that's a movie, not a book. I think that's one of his movies. But I have, these are my coffee dyed pages that you can actually download and print. I made a kit, and they look really nice how they came out. Here I just did a little collage with this actually came from the book. This is a little quote here. I found some I cut out some silhouette pieces on my Cricut with black cardstock. I added this little charm, some lace here, and then this is another one of those papers I got in a kit. And then here's a little another quote. This paper here, where is this? Okay, I'm sending the rest of it off to the lady who is getting this journal. Listen to that crackle. Listen to that. Isn't that lovely? This paper you can get at Hobby Lobby in their where they have their calligraphy pens and stuff. I think it's like $12 for like 20 pieces or something like that. But it's really, really nice. And I used this in my last journal, last Sherlock Holmes, and it just makes the book look more vintage. So all I had to do was ink the edges a little more to my liking. Okay, so that's the paper I used. So I inked around the edges, I did some stamping. This is another letter that I found, I believe, in that book. And another stamp here. Just did a little collage. This is one of those, come on, why are you stuck? This is one of those Tim Holtz clips here. Here's another little tag on this side. I just had those on the page here with this, held on with this little clip. Those are Tim Holtz. Okay, here is another tag. Oops. This clue actually came from the actual Clue game. And this image, I believe it's in that book that I just printed out and cut down. Added some coffee dye pages, some stickers, just a little quote there. It says intrigue. This paper in the background here actually came, let me see, this little collage here, this is actually from the Clue game. That knife is from a Clue game that I have. I added a gear, and then this paper is from the Clue game. You know, I went hunting for a Clue game for my last journal I made, and I had such a hard time finding one. Well, what do you know? After you're done with the project, I go back, you know, to the thrift shops and things that where I, sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. I went back, oops, you know, to the same stores I go, and what do you know? After I'm done with my first one, I found a Clue game. I'm like, it figures, you know? And this is just a little snippet from the book, too. Okay, here I had made these little files, and I actually attached them to the page. But you open it up, and there's a place to do some journaling, and then there's a couple of little case files, and like I said, I attached that to the page. I thought that was a cool idea. These images came out from online. Okay, here is a library card pocket that I just decorated. There's another cutout that I used from my silhouette that I did on my Cricut. These, years ago when they sold cigarettes, they would have cigarette cards, and I guess at one time they had some of the Sherlock Holmes, the gentleman that played him in the movies or the TV show, whatever it was, but these actually came online. Got those images off online. Oops, now this is going to give me trouble. So I did collaging in the corners on most pages. Here's another image there that I got from a kit. And this is the back side of that. This is, I think this is a book cover. And then just a little quote here. This is a little shell button that I just added there. Use some washi, place to journal. Here's another little cluster I did there. I used that hat stamp a lot because I didn't have a lot for you know, to use for Sherlock Holmes. These buttons, these are actually vintage buttons here that I glued on there. Here is just a little like a little flip out. There's a case file here, and then a place for journaling. Another vintage button. And then I just got one of those Tim Holtz clips just to hold it onto the page. Here, a couple more silhouettes. Holmes, Watson, and their names down below. These were fun to make too. These little, I just love how these came out. I just love how they came out. I just fussy cut a couple of images out and put them on oval, and I roughed up the edges. I added some bandage stuff that I had, vintage bandage, some what do you call it, burlap. I just love. And then there's just a little information there and a place for journaling, and you can journal on the back of here also. And those are also attached with one of those Tim Holtz clips. And then a little cluster here, one here, and then this one. I'm not going to take it off the page, but same thing, a little information. I just love how those came out. Okay, here I have 2 tuck spots, and in them I made a couple of tags. Here I got a little key with a vintage pin. A little stamp there. And then on this side, I just love those case files. And some of this I printed. Some of these I did print on cream color cardstock, but there were times that I printed out on already coffee dyed paper to make it look old. I like how that came out. And then here's another one of those little booklets that I made and attached. I love how this coffee dye came out. Here's his door. See, I really wanted to make, I might do it another time, but a different way, because I wanted to make the cover look like this door. But it's kind of wide, unless I just made it like in the middle, and I didn't like the way it looked. So maybe another time I'll do another journal and make it long and skinny, so I can use the image of the door or build the door. That would be really fun. Another little cluster. Here's another case file. This is another image from that kit. This one too. I'll have to get the name of that shop and put it. There was 2 kits from the same person, but I'll have to link that below. But here's another little booklet. This is actually how they dressed back then. And this came from that book. I found a lot of neat information and pictures in that book. I just love how these... See, this is my kit and I printed it out. And just a little cluster there. I love that hat. Another one of his quotes, excuse me. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Oops. Okay, and then in the last, I did another little tuck spot pocket. Here's another image from that kit. This is my own coffee dyed paper. And around the tags too, I forgot to mention, I did add some gold. And I used some gold pen to write some things in. I don't know if you noticed, but I like to use my own handwriting a lot. It just makes it more personal. Like here and here. A couple more images. It talks about like fingerprints. Years ago, way back then, it says fingerprints as a method identifying criminals came into regular use during Holmes' career, and he was fully aware of this technique. Alright, so there you have it. And then the back cover. I just love how that all came out. Like I said, this paper came from Hobby Lobby, and I'm sending this off because I told her I would send it off, the rest of it, because she doesn't live here in the US. So I don't know if she can order it online or not, but I told her I'd send this off. And I just added a couple of extra things for her. So these are the clue cards, original clue cards that came from the game. I just thought she'd like a couple of those, but just a few things, not a whole bunch. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. I am working really hard on another journal right now, totally different than this one. It's kind of like girly, pretty, and that's really not my thing, but I'm trying my best to get into those things. I know a lot of people love pretty journals and stuff, so I'm trying to get into more doing that, because this is more my taste. I guess that's the tomboy in me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. I enjoy hearing from you, so please comment below. Share this video with your friends. Did I say subscribe? If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And what else? As always, thank you for watching my video, and you have a wonderful day.